Before we get into this episode of Zero in Ghana, I need to take this moment to speak about someone who was more than just a friend to me. Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah, my forever friend, my brother. This tragic news of his passing has left my heart aching in ways I cannot describe. You died in a helicopter crash together with your two colleagues from the Air Force, the Defense Minister, and the Minister of Environment, and 3 other members of the governing National Democratic Congress Party. We grew up together. From the moment we became aware of ourselves and the friendships that shaped our lives, Ernest was part of the very foundation of my childhood. We fished together, cooked together, swam together, played football together, and went on aimless adventures together with our friends. We became a group called Unbreakables, and our slogan was Together Forever. But Ernest, you didn't keep your side of that commitment. You left too soon, too suddenly, and it breaks me. I saw your struggles, losing your father and mother in such a short time early on in your life. I saw how you carried that pain quietly and still chased your dream of joining the army, following in your father's footsteps. You worked tirelessly, course after course, determined to become an aircraft engineer and mechanic. And you did it with excellence. We talked about flying as kids, staring at airplanes over our community, La Abafun. I was the first to get airborne, but you beat me to flying helicopters. Even on your rare days off, you were always on call from the hangar, helping colleagues fix aircrafts. You became excellent at your craft. Ernest, you should be here today. You should be building your life with Mercy, your new bride, because it should be only 1 month at the time of your death since you had your wedding. You should be enjoying the rewards of the skill and sacrifice you gave to Ghana. But instead, I'm here, dedicating this episode of Zero in Ghana to you and to all the precious lives we lost in that tragic helicopter crash. Rest in perfect peace, my brother. My sincere condolence to all the families and communities affected by this tragedy. What if I told you Ghana isn't underdeveloped because we lack resources, but because we've normalized dysfunction, that we've mastered surviving a broken system so well, we've forgotten we deserve better? You know, sometimes I sit and ask myself, how can a country so full of brilliance, culture, talent, and natural resources be this stuck, going round in circles? I feel Ghana is this puzzle. All the pieces are there, but the picture never comes together. We are rich, but we are poor. We are religious, but we are corrupt. We are educated, but lack the skills and vision that make the country work for everyone. I call it the Ghana paradox. It's like watching a man sitting on a bag of gold, yet begging for coins. And the question that keeps me up is this: is it just bad leadership, or are we, ordinary Ghanaians, also guilty of letting things slide? In this episode, I want us to zero in on some of these contradictions and ask a hard question. How do we take back power? Not through coup d'etats, protest or demonstrations or even violence, but through everyday actions, shifting the mindset and collective change from the ground up. Let's talk about the contradictions, the ironies, the paradoxes, the things that just don't add up. Fertile land, plenty hunger. We have fertile land. The rains come, the sun shines, crops grow, plants bear fruits, but food prices are rising and people are sleeping hungry. How? Free education, poor learning. We boast about free pre-tertiary education and numerous universities and colleges, but many hardly benefit from this education because it fails to build skills necessary to survive and thrive. Democracy, but no voice. We vote every 4 years, but somehow we still feel powerless in between. It's like giving your power away only to literally beg for it back. And we can help to ask ourselves, is democracy for the rich or for the political elite or for everyone, especially the poor and vulnerable? We are religious but corrupt. We have churches and mosques on almost every street corner. We fast, we pray, we sing our hearts out in worship to God, to Allah. But let's be honest, something is not adding up. Because at the same time, in the same country, bribery, cheating, corruption, selfishness have become parts of who we are. It's almost as if we've normalized them, like they are just part of the culture. How do we explain this? Some of the most religious people, the ones who give the biggest tithes and make the biggest donations in church or at the mosque, are the same ones paying their workers less than what they spend on their dog's food each month, paying their staff who have 3 kids 1,000 cedis a month just because he or she is a cleaner or a security man. Religion should make us better humans, not more heartless hypocrites. Youthful population, but no jobs. More than half of our population are under 25, yet most are unemployed or underpaid, riding Okadas or doing delivery with degrees and resorting to cyber fraud and the hookup culture just to survive and live their dreams. According to the Institute of Social, Statistical and Economic Research, only 10% of graduates find work within 1 year of graduation, while the rest take up to 10 solid years to secure permanent jobs. We are producing certificates, not skills that solve the mountain of problems we face as a country. Why are we wasting our young people, our most valuable resource? We are rich in resources, yet failing economy. Gold, oil, cocoa, lithium, magnesium, we have them all, but we still borrow to build hospitals, roads, and so on. If you take corruption and identity crisis out of this equation, Ghana's wealth would reflect in every Ghanaian's life. I'm sure you're wondering what I mean by identity crisis. What I mean is this: we are in a situation where we feel uncertain, confused, and lost about who we really are, our values, our purpose, our role, and our place in this world. let's face it, the politician isn't coming to save us. And even if we elect saints today, if we, the people, don't change, Ghana won't change. Ghana is a reflection of us. The politicians are a reflection of us. And sometimes the reflection is hard to look at. We curse the serpent of corruption by day, but feed it milk at night. In Ghana, many don't hate corruption. We just hate being left out of it. The moment the loot starts flowing our way, it stops being corruption and suddenly becomes God's favor or smart hustle. We say systems don't work, but are we following the systems? It's easier to blame up than to look within. We complain that public offices are slow, yet we know someone in the inside and are quick to call our man to skip the queue. You are supposed to renew your license the proper way, but the moment someone whispers, "I fit do am sharp give you," we jump at it without blinking. At job interviews, people grumble about nepotism, but turn around and beg a big man to push their file to the top. We accuse a DVLA of inefficiency, yet pay Goro boys to fast track our registration, then shout, "The system is broken." Even in the church, someone wants to bypass the rules for admission into the school the church runs. Or when there's a government recruitment portal, instead of applying properly, we look for connections. We say Ghana doesn't work. But the truth is, many Ghanaians don't want a working system. We want a system that works for us. A fair system scares us because it means we have to wait our turn, play by the rules, and give up our shortcuts. And until we are ready to follow the system ourselves, even when it's inconvenient, we will keep sabotaging it from within while blaming others at the top. Sometimes it's even funny. Someone will sit in traffic, fuming and shouting, "This country import here, nothing works." But as soon as they get a chance, they mount the pavement, overtake everybody, nearly knock down pedestrians, then park illegally and walk off like a boss. The same person will turn around and say, "Ghana needs discipline." Say, "Madam, how? You are the undisciplined one in high definition." And you hear someone say, "Our leaders are liars. They never keep their promises." But this same person will promise to come for a meeting at 10 a.m. and show up at 12:45 p.m. with a straight face, holding watch and saying, "Oh, but Abi, I'm here." Our hypocrisy is doing push-ups. Our hypocrisy is on steroids. You hear someone shout, "This country is messed up. Too much corruption." But give that same person a government contract and watch them inflate the price of a 2 Ghana cedi pen to 25 cedis and still come to church on Sunday and give testimony. The Lord has done it again. Hey, my brother, my sister, was it the Lord or it was creative stealing? We complain that our hospitals are death traps. And yes, the system is flawed, but the same people steal hospital supplies to sell on the open market, or skip protocol for their cousin to get ahead of a queue. Then when a child dies because there were no gloves or oxygen, we say the system is flawed. The system has failed. No, we failed the system. It's killing us, literally. And then we scream on top of our voices, "Ghana needs change." But when it's time for school admissions, we are calling connections to bypass the process, sliding down brown envelopes just to get our kids into the right schools. Then we turn around and say the education system is broken. Oh, please. You are skipping merit but expecting excellence. Clap for yourself. Headmaster of hypocrisy. Let's not pretend it's just someone else's problem. Let me break it down for you. Real, lasting change is not going to start at Jubilee House. It's not in the president's handshake or the minister's next big speech. Real change will start in your house and mine, and the taxi you board, and the WhatsApp group you rant in, and at your workplace, at your church or mosque, at the market, and in the queue at the hospital or the passport office. You see, We love talking about the system as if it's some alien machinery built on another planet. But guess what? We are the system. The habits, the shortcuts, the silence, the looking away. That's the system. So if the system is broken, it's because we keep throwing our own broken habits into it. Here's what we need. There's only one thing that truly holds the key to transforming our society and fixing our broken system. And that thing is, drum roll please, mindset shifts. Yes, not more committees, not another policy document, not just elections, but a total shift in how we think and act and relate to one another. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the essential mindset changes we must embrace if we want to move from a culture of corruption, mediocrity, and apathy to one that's grounded in integrity, excellence, and active citizenship. From short-term gains to long-term thinking. Move from what can I get now to what legacy am I building? Ask yourself, will this decision benefit my children's generation or just my pocket today? Because the one who plants trees, knowing that he will never sit in their shade, has at least started to understand the meaning of life. They say, become a wise person. You see, some people are living a better life today because of the sacrifices and investments their grandparents made a generation or two ago. From mediocrity to excellence. Whatever you do, you're making life better for someone. Whether you sweep the streets, teach in the classroom, drive a trotro, nurse the sick, fix broken things, or sit in parliament, your work matters. It counts. I get it. Some jobs are thankless. Some salaries are insulting. Being underpaid and undervalued can kill your morale. It's hard to give what's best when you feel invisible. But here's the truth. Excellence is a reputation you earn that speaks before you do. Even if the system doesn't reward you immediately, your attitude and efforts build a reputation that no one can take from you. Think of it this way. A cleaner shows up every day, keeps a hospital spotlessly clean and without germs flying all over the place, and treats every patient with respect. That cleaner, that janitor, is doing more for humanity than somebody who wears a suit but cuts corners. So don't work just for the paycheck. Work for the impact. Work for the future self. And work in a way that makes people say, this is how this should be done. After saying this, a quote from the book The Might of Meekness by James Allen just came to mind. It goes like this. He who says, I have tried meekness and it has failed, has not tried meekness. It cannot be tried as an experiment. In other words, if you are not humble, you are not humble. But if you are humble, you will abide by all principles of humility at all times. Same as excellence. You cannot stop giving off your best because of something. You give off your best consistently, and that builds character, resilience, and reputation, none of which sheer money can buy. From apathy to active citizenship. When we talk about building a better Ghana, we often assume it's the job of the politician, celebrities, NGOs. But real change starts with ordinary citizens doing extraordinary things consistently. That's the heart of active citizenship. Showing up for your community, not just showing up to complain. And it's something every generation can and must participate in. Ghanaian Gen Z and Generation Alpha, come, let's vibe. Organize or participate in community cleanups, sports, and community campaigns that are targeted at making change. You can start or join a school or community debates on national issues, whether on education, leadership, community development, and so on. Volunteer with local NGOs. Teach basic skills to kids or mentor juniors. Use social media not just for skits and trends, but for educating peers on issues of social importance such as elections, mental health, healthy relationships, youth entrepreneurship, and so on. Generation X and millennials, gather your family, let's discuss. You belong to the group with the most civic and economic power. You may be raising families, running businesses, or managing offices, but you also have a voice and a vote. And here are some ways you can engage. Vote, but more importantly, hold leaders accountable between elections, not just on Facebook rants, but by emailing, calling MPs, or attending town hall meetings. You can mentor young people and be a role model, offer career talks in schools, or teach financial literacy or life skills to young people in your church, mosque, or community. Support local solutions by buying from local farmers and local producers so that you strengthen the local economy, which inures to your own benefits. Stay active through group sports such as cycling, swimming, football, running, and so on, so that you can use these healthy moments to build connections and community. As a society, we can start organizing our equivalents of umuganda, which is a Rwandan tradition of mandatory community work that takes place on the last Saturday of every month. It involves citizens working together on public service projects such as cleaning streets, desilting gutters, building infrastructure, and environmental conservation. Let's bring back the National Sanitation Days and even go beyond that and make it a part of our culture. To my parents and grandparents, Numwe, Eja, Efo, Ebusanpenyin, you can be a powerful community builder who can help mediate community conflicts with the wisdom of experience. You can mentor youth in culture, history, and language, and you can also mentor young people in traditional crafts. Let's further talk about citizenship, not just as a buzzword, but as a personal responsibility. Because here's the truth. If good people keep avoiding politics, bad people will keep hijacking power. And perhaps they have for many years. We've all heard it. I don't do politics. I think politics is dirty. But you know what's dirtier? What happens when good people stay silent and out of politics and bad people mess us up? When the honest, thoughtful, value-driven Ghanaians step back, they leave a vacuum. And that vacuum never stays empty. It gets filled by opportunists, looters, and loud men and women with empty morals. And then we complain. We say, leadership is poor, governance is broken, our institutions are failing. But ask yourself, where are the people of character and competence? Many are running successful businesses, teaching in the classrooms, saving lives in the hospitals, or building families with integrity, but refusing to bring those same values into national politics and decision making. That's how we got here. That's why many parts of our public sector feel paralyzed. Our policies often lack vision, and our leaders repeat the same old promises every election year. We need a mindset shift, especially amongst the youth, the professionals, the faith-based leaders, the creatives, the teachers, the techies, the people who genuinely care about Ghana. Join a political party, not to follow them blindly, but to raise the standard from within those political parties. Get involved, shape ideas, challenge the status quo, offer something better. You don't have to necessarily run for president, but maybe you can help shape your party's education policy. Maybe you can mentor local leaders with integrity. Maybe you'll be the reason why the next MCE or DCE is honest and effective. Because if we don't take responsibility for politics, bad politicians will keep taking advantage of us. Ghana doesn't just need voters. Ghana needs value-driven citizens who are brave enough to step into the arena of power and influence. Let's stop saying politics is not for people like us. and start saying, it's because of people like us that politics must change. The NPP and the NDC and other political parties at their core are not bad political parties. On paper, they both carry visions that speak to Ghana's purpose, progress, and development. Their manifestos are filled with promises of prosperity, justice, and national development. So in principle, they want what we all want, a better and prosperous Ghana. But here's the catch. Good intentions on paper mean nothing without good people to carry them out. Too often, the individuals who rise to the top of these parties, the ones who are supposed to bring those visions to life, end up diluting them. They replace public service with self-service. They ascend with slogans of hope, but govern with an appetite for personal wealth. In just one electoral cycle, many of them balloon their personal net worth beyond imagination, while the average Ghanaian remains stuck in cycles of hardship and broken hopes and promises. The tragedy is not in the political parties themselves. The real tragedy is that we've allowed the wrong kind of people to define what leadership looks like in Ghana, and we've paid for it dearly in many instances. But it doesn't have to stay this way. The systems are not beyond redemption. What they need, what Ghana needs, is a new kind of leader, a new kind of citizen, one who sees leadership not as a ladder for wealth, but as a bridge to collective dignity and progress. Here's the truth. Politicians are powerful because we let them be. But real power is collective. It's in our numbers and in our habits. Imagine if 1 million Ghanaians said, I will not give or take bribe. I will obey traffic rules even when nobody is watching. I will buy from a Ghanaian farmer and shoemaker before I consider importing. I will sacrifice my reputation for the sake of improving ethics and leadership in politics. I'll encourage others to do same. That's not politics. That's people power. That's patriotism in motion. Let's stop waiting for the big change and start making small, meaningful ones. Ghana is not a project for the rich or the elected. It's our home. And if we don't fix our home, we will remain tenants in someone else's future. It starts with you. It starts with me, with truth, with daily imperfect steps and actions. If you believe this, share this video. Talk to your friends. Talk to your children. Talk to your leaders. Let's zero in and light the candle of change, one action at a time. Don't forget to subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you are doing to fix Ghana from where you stand. Mention anyone who you know has the character and values to lead, to come out and begin acting and leading in the interest of Ghana and all her children. Mention them and mention how you think they can help.